Rules are meant to be broken. Take a risk. Traveling with a motorcycle, having your backpack at the back, and just going for kilometers and kilometers. This guy decided to buy the viper snakes, 2 of them, bring them with him on the motorcycle,
Wow.
just to go and release them in the wild.
Hi everyone and welcome at La Valigia. I'm Francesca Spinola and today I will be digging into the world of motorbike tours in Tunisia. And we will do it with Youssef Jemaa, who is the owner of Ride and Explore. And he also is hosting us today in his amazing garage in the very heart of Tunis.
Via via, via via, via va.
So, Youssef, your company offers like Tayara Royal Enfield experiences in Tunisia, and it's been quite a while. But every great venture has a starting point. What made you think, Tunisia, motorcycle, this is it?
I was fortunate enough to be able to go and study in the US. I did an industrial engineering degree in Houston, Texas. And then when I graduated, I did 3 years in Savannah, Georgia as an engineer. And then that same company sent me to the UK as an expat for a year. And then from UK, I was transferred to India for 2.5 years. I was not able to drive my own car. I was pushed to find my own freedom by buying a bike. I entered into this world of adventure motorcycling, traveling with a motorcycle, having your backpack at the back, and just going for kilometers and kilometers. By doing that, I met a lot of people. There was Indian adventurers, and one of which was a good friend of mine who had a motorcycle tour company in India as well. One day we were sitting together at his place and he goes, Youssef, why don't you do a motorcycle tour company in Tunisia? You're just passionate about it, you love riding. And I'm like, there's no way. In Tunisia, no. I mean, if this business was potential in Tunisia, it would have been open by now. But I took it as a challenge and I was like, okay. And that's where really Ride and Explore was born. So welcome to Ride and Explore Small Garage. This is where really the magic happens. This is where we maintain all our bikes in a really good way so that each rider that comes to us doesn't have any problem or any issue with his bikes. Now, we have a partnership with Royal Enfield that allows us to buy the genuine parts directly from the factory. Now I am with Dali
here.
He's our support and responsible for the fleet. He maintains all the bikes and makes sure that he treats them like his babies pretty much. Right?
Oh yeah, so these bikes are really easy to maintain. I mean, really obvious, straightforward. We always try to be there whenever there is problems, mechanical problems or any other problems as a technical assistance on the tour. We always also check the bikes before the go. So early morning, we just check the bikes before we start the day or the tour itself. We try to not face any problems while on the go.
The bikes are usually checked every time we arrive to the hotel, and then in the morning itself of the ride, Dali goes through all the bikes and makes sure that every bike is ready to go.
So, Youssef, you are much of a risk taker. I mean, is this your philosophy in life?
I always say, rules are meant to be broken. Take a risk. Take your step forward each time. That's what's going to bring innovation into your business, pretty much.
So, Youssef, what made you think, yes, I can do it in Tunisia? What made you change your mind on this?
This idea came out during COVID. It's a very difficult time to start a business, but I took it as an opportunity again. I said, right now the world is a chaos, so might as well just be the first one, as soon as COVID comes out, be the first one to have a business installed already. All my time was inside this study about Ride and Explore and opening this company.
So, as a matter of fact, Youssef, I see that you here have only Himalayan motorbike. So, what made you think you can build a business around Royal Enfield alone?
So Royal Enfield is a massive brand. They were established back in 1901, and today everywhere you go in India, it's Royal Enfield everywhere. So I told you I bought a motorcycle so I could have my freedom.
Yeah.
While buying that motorcycle, I was able to test that motorcycle for those 2.5 years for more than 20,000 kilometers.
Yeah.
You know, knowing every single thing about it made me choose this motorcycle for the fleet of Ride and Explore.
Yeah. So from a technical point of view, having in mind that Tunisia has very different, routes, for example, terrain. So you have the desert, and then you have the mountain landscape, and then you have the Mediterranean coastal. How do people manage to go on this kind of routes with this bike? What does this bike offer?
This bike basically is a dual purpose bike. It's perfect for Tunisia because you can ride it on the road, but you can also do a lot of off-road with it. And as you know, the Tunisian terrain, we have a lot of small roads, gravel roads. We can even go get closer to the desert and ride on a little bit of sand and all that. So it's really very suitable for the terrain. As a business, you have to think you're gonna get customers from all over the world. The motorcycle is very important to have a balance, right? It's a motorcycle that is a 411 cc, 25 horsepower, quite heavy. So it gives you the adrenaline by having a really large torque in it.
And we will go to the riders in a moment.
In a moment, okay.
So, Youssef, I see that you have one kind of motorbike, but you offer many different kinds of rides, like the North ride, the South ride. I guess you have different kind of riders, customer coming in and accepting your offers. Tell me something more about your customers.
So we've been doing this right now for about 4.5 years. The type of riders that we get each time are so different. We get younger people from the age of 30 to 40, but the majority really is from the 50 to 70 years old. They come from all over the world, from Italy specifically, from France, Germany and all that. But we have also people that came from the US, Canada, New Zealand.
Oh, wow.
I mean, when both these guys came from New Zealand, I was like, what? I mean, it's on the other side of the planet, isn't it? Now, when we come back to the motorcycle, we chose these motorcycles because they are suited for all ages and for all levels.
So do you customize your trip depending on the age group or depending on their gender?
So each time we have a group together, we really study the group. We make sure that we know their experience, we know what they like and what they don't like, because if they come for 10 days, it's their vacation and we want to make it as enjoyable as possible for them. So I'll tell you some stories, right?
Yeah.
So we had this guy from the US that came to visit us. And his passion was all about reptiles. He loves reptiles. He's a snake fanatic. He loves scorpions. He loves all that. And the motorcycle was one of his passion. So each time we stopped somewhere, this guy, all he did was flipping rocks. Just flipping rocks, looking for animals from reptiles. Because we are trying to make it as enjoyable as possible for everyone. And in the south, there is a place where there is a small boutique that actually has wild animals in it. Snakes, scorpions, and things like that. So we went there. This guy had a viper snake in there. This guy decided to buy the viper snakes, 2 of them, bring them with him on the motorcycle, just to go and release them in the wild. So I was like, oh my God, this is a first for us, you know, it's, and you know, you get other customers as well. You get the people from different ages and different backgrounds. We have CEOs of companies, jail security people, you know, it's...
Which trip is the most requested so far?
The best one and the most requested one is really the 10 days that we offer. So they come in, The first day is just to settle down in Tunisia, and then we do 8 riding days around the whole country.
Wow. How many kilometers do you do average every day?
This one, for example, the 10 days is about 2,200 kilometers. And we are averaging about 200 to 300 kilometers per day. Every 45 minutes to an hour maximum, we stop somewhere, and it's a steady stop each time. It's not like a stop where we are in a coffee shop or something. It's always a stop where we're meeting with the locals, or we're actually hand-picking olives just so that people can experience that. We stop at, different places. And also, Ride and Explore is about riding, discovering, but also about exploring.
Yeah.
So I tell all my customers or my riders that if I see something that looks interesting, I am going to take that path and we're gonna go and explore it together. And 99% of the time, when we explore together, it's an amazing found that we see. Where we're meeting with the locals, or we're actually hand-picking olives just so that people can experience that.
And here we come to the routes. How do you choose, where to stop, who to meet, what to do, where to eat, where to sleep?
Yeah, okay. So all this has been studied before. When I came back from India and was establishing this business, I spent a whole year discovering the country myself. Okay. I went many times with my own bike, along with Dali as support, to meet the locals, to understand what they're doing, to see whether they would accept having people over in their houses from time to time to cook for them.
Yeah.
So all the tours have been created in that first year. And each time you try to develop a new thing, right?
And how do local people accept or greet these customers coming from abroad, these riders,
Yeah.
How is the encounter? How does the magic happen?
Really, the magic happened naturally each time.
Okay.
Down in the south specifically, or in the rural area, in the north, people are so welcoming. Like, it's so interesting to see when you bring foreigners over to their houses or to their businesses, how welcome they are. They typically lay down everything they have. They want to show you around.
Okay.
And that really impact the riders so much.
Okay. You also have a Tunisian customer, isn't it?
100%, yeah. It's about 20%.
Okay.
15 to
And how
20%
do
of
they
people.
enjoy this offer? Because it's brand new here in Tunisia, a company like yours.
Yeah. So the Tunisians are more challenging for us because we tend to think that if he's Tunisian, he knows Tunisia. He's been to the south. He's been to El Kef, he's been to Tabarka and all that. So for us, it becomes more of a challenge to find small things that will make him discover his country in a different way.
Okay. So Youssef, Ride and Explore is not just about riding. It's also about exposure to culture, history, specific sites. How did you design your route, like with the help of local people or?
So first of all, when you do an itinerary, you first build it on the laptop.
Okay.
You know where you're going, you study the maps and everything. And then you go and do the scouting yourself to see whether the motorcycle are going to go through that, whether the backup vehicle is going to be able to catch up on different routes. Lunch is very important. We learned this from the Italians. Actually.
Yeah, definitely. For Italian riders, it's very important what they eat.
Yeah, exactly. They told me, as long as you keep us fed, we will be happy. So we plan the food, the lunch spots in different places that are quite unique.
Yeah.
So for example, when we go to the Hawareya, our lunch spot is in the middle of the woods.
Okay.
So we have this local guy who would fish from the morning. He'll bring all the stuff and he makes the tables and all that. And then I'll arrive with a group of people. They don't know where we're going. We're in the middle of like a small little off-road track, and then we enter this forest. And all of a sudden, bam! They have a setup. The barbecue's there, waiting for us, and all that.
Absolutely amazing.
And that gives us that wow surprise effect and
Absolutely.
yeah.
So, for example, you offer the one-day trip from Tunisia, right?
Yes.
Okay. What are the highlights, the special sites where you bring people in the one-day tour?
Okay, so a one-day tour is pretty much from Tunis, and we have three different routes that we can take. The most important one that we use a lot is to go to a location called the Ghar al-Malh, right next to Bizerte, before
Okay.
Bizerte. It's very well known for its forts. It got forts, an old port, and the road there is absolutely amazing. So we go visit the archaeological sites of Utik. We go to El Alia and we ride through the wind farms. So the roads there are up and down and left and right, and you're in the middle of the mountain. And sometimes it's gravel road, sometimes it's paved road. It's beautiful.
So, from 1 to 10, how difficult you
Rate this?
rate this one?
Depending on the level of the group, we can adapt always. So if I have a group of expert people, I would actually challenge them a little bit through taking some off-road routes. We have 3 options each time of routes.
Okay.
We have level 1, level 2, and level 3. We always have options. And so, yeah. So
Absolutely well done.
Yeah, you study the customers as much as possible, the riders, you understand what they want and all that. And then you deliver. As you go through the tour, you adapt each time.
Okay, so the one-day tour, I guess, is more for like local people, Tunisians, expats, or do they come from abroad also?
Yeah, no. The one-day tour are mainly for those people who came to Tunisia for vacation. They're spending a week here, but they've decided to take a trip on a one-day tour. So it's very rarely pre-planned or scheduled in advance. We usually have demands and we try to open a new date. And then once we have 1 or 2 people, we open that date into our website and we try to bring more people in to form a minimum of 3 riders. And we can go up to like 15 riders.
Wow, perfect. So tell me more about the 3 days tour. Where do you head to?
Right, so 3-day tour, we have a very amazing one that starts from the island of Jerba.
Okay.
And it goes through the region of Dahar, which is Matmata and Tatooine. So we start from the island of Jerba, we go to Tatooine and then for 1 night, and then Matmata for another night, and come back to Jerba. 600 kilometers. You see one of the most amazing routes, Berber towns,
And so do people get to know better the Amazigh culture during this trip?
Yeah, that's exactly where the Amazigh people most live in.
So this is quite the highlight for the 3 days tour from Jerba.
Correct.
But you also offer a full 10 days tour, which I think goes also to the desert areas and also some special areas where some like very famous movies were filmed. And so can you tell us more about it?
Okay, so what's important about the 10 days or the trip itself? It's you're enjoying the ride, one, the food we talked about, but also the accommodations. So in every tour we offer, you will be sleeping in a 4 to 5 star hotel, but also you will be sleeping in caves, you will be sleeping in a 5-star tent hotel in an oasis, you will be sleeping in cottages made out of wood. So each day you are spending the night in a different environment and all that. Now, when it comes to the actual roads, we study the roads and all that, but there is famous routes, like the Rome route, for example.
Oh, tell me more about this route.
For me, it's my favorite place in the whole country. Most of the people now knows about it, and they come to Tunisia specifically to ride through that route. That was actually built by the French to go from one side to another. And it's famous today, it's because the views you get from that route are just insane. You arrive to this mountain, you're on top of the mountain and you're going down through the valleys. You see oasis from far away, you see, these red mountains and all that, and it's just...
Is there a route you have not designed yet, which you really would like to offer, a new route?
We've done a lots of routes in Tunisia, and we've done the whole country. But now we have this new demand that is coming from our riders. They want to explore Algeria.
Okay.
So Algeria is one of the things that we are going to explore next in our rides. And we're going to see the potential, whether it's possible or not.
Wow, that's a scoop from from today. But are you planning to depart to Algeria from Tunisia, or you think the riders will arrive directly in Algeria?
Yeah, so most probably it's going to be a departure from Tunisia.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, we'll do a departure from Tunisia, depending on the number of days that we have in front of us and the tour that we're going to create. It's going to be a departure either from Tunis or from the south in Tozer, for example. Yeah, that's on our bucket list, and that's coming very soon.
Amazing. So, Youssef, is it fair enough if we say that you are actually doing sustainable tourism here in Tunisia?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think, being a motorcycle tour business, you wouldn't think that we would be sustainable because of maybe,
you are kind of dirty man.
Voilà, exactly, But we actually focus on that, on being as sustainable as possible. One, by, for example, we had some projects on the bikes themselves where we actually installed a generator that reduces the amount of CO2 that comes out of the motorcycle, but also reduces the fuel consumption. So we've done some project like that makes the bike a little bit cleaner. The other thing is working with the locals as much as possible, giving back to the locals each time. We try the food from those different regions, so like the cheese factory in Beja, or like in Kef, we go to this farm where we actually taste the honey directly from the hives. It's about feeling it and getting that connection with the country, Yeah.
So on this note, I really thank you, Youssef, for having us. And if you want to say a word to the young people out there wanting to build something as you did, what does it take to realize your dream?
Okay. I believe in something very strongly, that Tunisia is a country with a lot of opportunities, especially right now. Yes, the economy is not that great, but this is where you need to put the effort into. So anything you put the effort into will succeed. As long as you put the time and the effort, you will succeed at some point.
At the end, you succeeded.
Yes, that's it.
Thank you, Youssef.
Yeah,
Great.
Thank you.